webinar. Just for those of you who are new and not heard this presentation before, I will be going over an overview of the OneCoin concept. There's a lot of information to take in. Some of the terminology may be new to you, but you have the opportunity to replay this and review it on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. It'll be uploaded by the morning. Just for your information, I'm a network marketer. I'm not an expert on anything except network marketing, I guess. I've been involved in the industry for 29 years, and like many of you, I've been involved in various different projects with various different products and services, from skincare lines to weight loss and jewelry and so on. And some people say, well, okay, what qualifies you to talk about cryptocurrency if your background, you're an expert on skincare? Well, my answer is very simple. I don't have to be an expert on cryptocurrency, and if you had to be an expert, we wouldn't have 65,000 members in about 4.5, 5 months. If you had to be an expert, it just wouldn't happen that way. Our business is set up in such a way that anybody can do this, and if you've developed certain skills in network marketing, those skills are transferable. And that's the key about becoming a professional in this industry. It really doesn't matter what the product or service is, because you do the same job, which is building relationships and building teams. So let's get on, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about this as we go on through the presentation. But I really want to give you the OneCoin overview in a nutshell. Over the years, I've been approached and seen many, many different businesses, as some of you have too. And I learned over that time to start asking some questions, because I see many people jumping from business to business based upon a kind of emotional response, which is great, but you need to know that you're making some wise decisions as well. And, you need to ask at least some basic questions to get a good feeling for what you're doing. For example, and this is my checklist. You may have your own, and hopefully I'll answer most of your questions by the end of this evening. Number one, what is OneCoin? What is it? Who's running it? Who's behind it? What's their knowledge? What's their expertise? Is it legal? I don't want to get into trouble for promoting something. Is it real? In other words, is there a market for the product or service outside of the network, or is it only for the network? If the answer is there is a product, a service, a market outside the network, then that's a real product. How do I make money? What kind of business model is it? Does it give me just income, or does it give me capital growth? And actually, in our case, you get both. Is it simple? That's really key, because as I just said earlier, if it's not simple, it can't duplicate. You can't get 65,000 people in under around 5 months if it wasn't simple. Then I want to know what my strategies are. What do I want to get out of this in the next, say, 3 to 5 months, 3 to 6 months? What about the next year? What about the next 2 to 3 years, if I even want to stay in that long? And then what's my exits? Exits just means, how do I get my money out? Because you know what? If you can't spend it, it's not real. So what is OneCoin? OneCoin is a new type of cryptocurrency, and a cryptocurrency is a new type of currency which is based upon mathematics, as opposed to being based upon gold or some nominal value attributed by a central bank. It's based upon pure mathematics. So it actually has a fairly, how shall I say, realistic value in the marketplace because of its rarity. It actually has a fixed number of coins or units. Excuse me, a bit of hiccups there. It's born on the success of Bitcoin. If you've never heard of Bitcoin, well, that's the first cryptocurrency which came out around 6 years ago. And I'm going to give you a bit of the history of that in a second. I tell people in my trainings that you really need to learn 3 stories if you want to be successful in this business, because really what you're doing is repeating and telling stories back to people, especially new prospects. You need to learn the Bitcoin story so you understand what happened to Bitcoin and is still happening to Bitcoin. Then you need to know the OneCoin story, because that is validated by the Bitcoin story. What's happened to OneCoin so far? 65,000 members in 5 months, 16 million coins mined, and so on. We have over 50 people maxing out the compensation plan. Maxing out means they're making over 35,000 euros per week. which is not bad for a startup company. So, and then the third story I think you need to learn is your own story. You know, how did you get involved? What did you do before? How did you get started, and what's your success so far? Because people relate to that. They might not relate to someone making, you know, 100,000 euros a month after 3 months in business, but they'll certainly relate to you because they, you know, relate to your story. OneCoin is not a pre-mined currency. That means the company did not create the coins with the intention of selling them to people. In fact, believe it or not, OneCoin doesn't even sell coins. Our business is not the coin selling business. We're a financial education company, and you'll see where the coins come in a second. It's members like you and the 65,000 other people who are actually creating the marketplace and mining the coins, and therefore keeping all the profits. The company does not own the coins. The owners of the coins will be the members who mine them. It will be traded on a public exchange. In other words, it will be able to be sold to members of the public and exchanged for value. That means it's a real product. And you'll see shortly that the plan is not only extremely simple, but extremely fair and lucrative. Now, when I first came across this, I didn't understand it. I'll be frank. As I said to you, my background was skincare, nutrition. I've sold all sorts of different products. And when people started talking to me about cryptocurrencies and algorithms and source codes, I thought, oh, you know, there's no way. I just can't get my head around this. But I thought I needed to try and understand it so I could understand where the value came in. And I think I do now. An algorithm is just another name for a mathematical formula or a puzzle. And in this case, it's a puzzle that has a fixed number of outcomes or solutions. Now, every time the computer solves the puzzle and gets a solution, it gets what's known as a coin. Now, that's stored digitally as a string of numbers and letters, and that has a value because there are a fixed number of them based upon the mathematics. As it says here, the mathematics governs it. So once you start the mining, you can't change it. And in our case, our formula or algorithm allows us to make or mine 2.1 billion coins. Now, Bitcoin, the first company, or first coin rather, was able or is able to mine 21 million coins. Now, they've currently mined up to about 14 million, and it's getting harder and harder to mine the rest, as is the case with all cryptocurrencies because of the mathematics, because it's just getting harder and harder to find more and more of the solutions. But I wanted to try and put this in simple terms, and I came up with an idea, and this is one. Let's suppose I wanted to create a new cryptocurrency with just 3 coins. In other words, 3 solutions to the algorithm. So I'd come up with an algorithm or a puzzle and feed it into the computer, which said something like this. How do I get the number 5? So the computer would start working and it would start crunching numbers and it'd say, okay, 3 plus 2, there's one answer, equals 5. 4 plus 1, there's a second answer, that also equals 5. 5 plus 0 is a third answer. Now, each time it finds an answer, that gives me a coin. And you'll notice from this particular puzzle, there are no other answers if you're using, simple mathematics like this. So you can imagine what an algorithm for 2.1 billion answers could look like. Now, as far as the Bitcoin story is concerned, you need to know this. The Bitcoin algorithm was released to the public the end of 2008, and people started mining it, which means they set their computers to go and find solutions. Once they started mining it, they started selling the coins on the open market, and it started selling at 10 cents, US cents, okay? Now, most of the people, and even to this day, most of the people who own Bitcoins are still kind of computer nerds. It really hasn't reached the wider audience in the same way that we intend to do. But most of the people were just mining it. They probably didn't even realize it had any value, to be honest with you, because for the first couple of years, nothing much happened. As you see, 2.5 years later, it jumped to $35. So from 10 cents to $35, suddenly it grew 350 times in value. At that point, I think people began to notice it as an investment vehicle that could actually appreciate in value. And as you can see here, it went up to 210, had a bit of a hiccup there, then went up to $1,200 just over a year ago. Now, obviously, what happened at this point was it became very well known amongst the public, and you got all the investors and the speculators involved. And when something rises that sharply, it always falls just as sharply. Hi, Raphael. It always falls just as sharply because people start taking profits. And Bitcoin at the moment is somewhere around the $200 mark. Okay, so that is the price. I can't even write with a mouse. Okay, $200 per coin. Regardless, though, if you got in the first 3 or 4 years, you still would have made a fortune. Whatever you bought it at, you would have sold higher. So Bitcoin was an extremely good investment and really the darling of Wall Street, because really, if you think since the financial crash in 2008, no one's actually made any money out of anything. You know, once again, we're hearing that the derivatives market is falling apart because it's full of everything they said that they wouldn't do again. They've put, you know, fake paper on the market and fake derivatives, and it's all going to blow up in everyone's faces yet again. And you know, the bankers seem to get away with it, but this has been the darling of the investment community for the last 5 or 6 years because it really has given phenomenal returns. And you know, cryptocurrencies are much better investments than real estate, gold, silver, stocks and shares, you name it. Now, the current situation with Bitcoin, though, is this. They've been going 6 years. They mined about 14 million out of their 21 million. So that's, what would that be? 2/3, almost exactly 2/3. Now that means it's getting harder and harder to mine. What that means is it becomes harder and harder to find the coins and less profitable to do so. You'll find that if you really want to get involved with a cryptocurrency, here is the place you want to be. And this is where we are now with OneCoin. And you're going to see in a second that OneCoin is not a Bitcoin clone. We're not trying to be another Bitcoin. We actually have a better version than Bitcoin. We've improved the model. You know, when Bitcoin started 6 years ago, you could mine 1 coin per hour on a simple home computer. Now you're needing 450 days to become profitable if you're trying to do it yourself, and you're really needing huge server farms and racks of servers to get anywhere at all. Most people have to do it in mining pools just to actually make any kind of headway in this at all. So it's really not a game for the amateurs, so to speak. And in my opinion, the big money in Bitcoin has already been made. And I think it's too late for any of us to be getting in and trying to make money out of Bitcoin. You really need a new vehicle. True story here. A man bought a pizza in 2010 for 10,000 Bitcoins. And I guess at that point, no one knew what they were worth, or probably didn't even think they were worth anything. So, you know, I guess even the pizza shop owner was taking a bit of a punt by saying, okay, I'll accept them. I'm sure the man who's laughing loudest now is the guy who made the pizza, because that would be worth around $2.5 million. So the moral there is, do not sell your coins before they've risen too soon. Now, why is OneCoin not a Bitcoin copy? Why is it better? Number one, we've got a more advanced algorithm. You know, a lot happens in 6 years. Think about what you have now, the kind of phone you might have. Would you rather have an iPhone 6 or a 6-year-old Motorola or whatever? You know, things change a lot in 6 years. We have a smaller denomination, 2.1 billion versus 21 million coins. So we'll actually have a lot more coins out in the market in the hands of a lot more people, which is much better for stability and will create less volatility. We'll also be using one exchange to market these to the outside world, rather than Bitcoin's decentralized approach, which uses multiple different exchanges, all at different prices. Again, which is, you know, horrible for liquidity and, for volatility. OneCoin is mined in mining pools from the start. Okay, so everyone who joins gets the opportunity to mine in a pool. So if someone has a more powerful computer or servers than you, they don't have an advantage over you. We're all pooling our resources, so to speak. But another key area is that we use KYC, or know your customer rules, which is really what every bank uses now to identify their customers and prevent against fraud and money laundering. And it also helps prevent against the loss of your coins. You know, there have been notable cases of Bitcoin accounts being hacked into and people losing their coins because it's anonymous and they didn't know where they went, or they didn't even know who owned them. With OneCoin, that can't happen because they can all be tracked to you, and so no one can take your coins and steal them and use them without the company's knowledge. And as I say at the last point here, Bitcoin is already very mature and the opportunity is really over. You really need to be joining a brand new opportunity. So who's behind it? Who runs OneCoin? Well, her name is Dr. Ruja Ignatova. She has a master's in law from Oxford, master's in economics from Constance in Germany, and a PhD in European business law from Oxford and Constance. After university, she actually worked as a management consultant with McKinsey as one of their youngest partners in corporate banking, private equity, asset management, and so on. So really, who better, if you're going to get involved with the birth of a brand new cryptocurrency, a financial vehicle, so to speak, who better than someone who has a real solid background in finance and law and management consultancy, working with major banks. And you can see from here, she's got a lot of experience with Sberbank in Russia, Unicredit, Allianz Raiffeisen, Deutsche Bank, and so on. She's actually been awarded Businesswoman of the Year in Bulgaria, not once, but 2 times. She's also published books in German and Chinese and worked with other cryptocurrency companies. So again, very, very experienced in the financial arena. So that should give you confidence about who is running the company. Here is her 2 books, one in German and one in Chinese. Some people want to know who I am. Who's this man who's doing these webinars and talking to us? Who's Nigel Allen? Well, just to give you some background, I told you a little bit in the front. I've been involved in the industry since 1985, 29 years, working as a distributor and building large organizations with different companies. I've done product development and actually created 3 different skincare lines. I've done some conventional marketing here, rebranding the Elemis range and relaunching it several years ago. And as you can even see here, I was even written up in a book by a famous author on health and beauty in the cosmetics world. So my background is products. Thank you very much, Raphael. I'll pay you later. But the point is, why am I telling you this? People say, well, why are you doing this? You don't know anything about cryptocurrency. Well, I do now. I mean, I didn't 6 months ago, but I do now. But the point is this: it doesn't matter. If you built up your skills, and this is the key thing, people can never take away your skills. They can take away your money. They can take away your business. They can take away your house. They can never take away your skills. So your job is to develop your skills. If you develop skills in network marketing, you're doing the same thing, whether you're selling skincare or aloe vera or the latest fruit juice drink or whatever, or cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter, because your job is building teams, building relationships, training and motivating and inspiring people. That's what we do. And you don't have to become an expert on cryptocurrency. Do you know why? Because Dr. Ruja is the expert. If everybody had to be an expert, we wouldn't have 65,000 people. Okay? So let's move on. What about the company structure? The company is actually based in Gibraltar, but most of the operations are run out of Sofia in Bulgaria, which is where Dr. Ruja lives. Our IT team there, in fact, we have 2 IT teams, one that works on the website and the network side of things, and another one which is dedicated to the mining and the cryptocurrency and the algorithm. So they're just pure mathematicians. We have about 40 people so far in the office there. Our primary activity, as it says here, is not selling coins. Now, there's a surprise, isn't it? We're called OneCoin, but we don't sell coins. We actually sell online financial education that teaches you how to make money with cryptocurrency. As a side benefit, you get an opportunity to mine the coins and keep all the profits for yourself. So just get that clear in your mind. We're not selling coins or currency. We're selling online education, online training, and everyone who buys that package gets an opportunity to mine and own coins. Now, if you're wondering about the legality or legitimacy of this, well, here's a letter from our law firm in Germany. In fact, I'll bring up the original, which you can download from a back office. There you go. It's in Munich, and it's addressed to OneCoin in Gibraltar. And here's the key phrase for me. In our opinion, the OneCoin is a legitimate product limited to 2.1 billion. What they're really saying is this. You've got to read between the lines. They're saying, we've examined the source code, we've examined the algorithm, and we're satisfied that this conforms to being a legitimate cryptocurrency. So if people say, well, how do I know it's real? I don't think a German law firm is likely to lie or misrepresent things for the sake of a client and lose their own reputation. And here's a list of countries in which cryptocurrency is a legal commodity to buy it and hold it and trade it. So pretty much every country is on there. I think the only one that's not is probably Iceland. Talking more about the legality, well, again, it's traded on Wall Street. What else do I need to tell you? You know, if something's traded on Wall Street and they're taxing your profits, I think that's a fair indication that it's legal. These two guys here, maybe you recognize them if you ever saw the movie The Social Network about the start of Facebook. They were at university with Mark Zuckerberg, and they were the guys who sued him successfully for stealing their idea, and they walked away with millions. Well, they put most of it now, it appears, into a Bitcoin trust. Such is their faith in the future of cryptocurrency. So what do we sell? Okay, online education in 5 levels created by Dr. Ruja. And by the way, if you're going to have a training or education on how to trade, why not have that training created by someone who is an expert in financial markets? Okay, and you're going to learn through interactive material like videos and presentations and so on. So you get there are 5 different packages, each getting a successively higher level of education, and each one gets free tokens with their package. Now these tokens, another name for these tokens, I would call them mining permits actually, if it was my company, mining permits, because that's what they are. And when you get these mining permits, you can choose what to do with them. You can either sell them to other people and let them do the mining, or you can use them yourself towards mining the OneCoin, and that's exactly what they're for, because the tokens are your key to your slot or your position in the mining teams, and to actually mine the coin. So the more tokens you're able to accumulate and acquire, the more coins you'll be able to mine. So get clear on that. This is called a blockchain. Now, this is totally new for me. I didn't understand what this was, and I still don't pretend to be really, conversant with it. I'll be honest with you. But you can look at this. It's called, go to this website, blockchain.info, which is actually for Bitcoin. And this is every statistic you ever want to know about Bitcoin can be found on here. What the latest transactions are, the latest mining, how many people have bought, how many people have sold, the value, you name it, okay? And a blockchain is basically the sequence of the mining and activities within mining these kinds of financial mathematical instruments. Now, I still don't really fully understand that, and to further confuse matters for myself, here is our own blockchain in our back office. As you can see, the same kind of string, you can't see it very clearly here, but the same kind of strings of letters and numbers really indicating all the transactions 3 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago, and so it's basically showing you live, blow by blow, all the coins that are being mined. And in simple terms, which is all I understand, that's all I need to know. So what you should be doing when you log in, actually, and this is by the way, the members back office, you've got your dashboard, your news profile, and so on, just as you'd expect in any network. And if you go to the exchange, you can click here and go to mining, and then look at the new mining dashboard, which is what this is, okay? And it'll tell you what mining pool you're in, whether you're in progress, how many coins are mined, so on. So all the statistics are on here, and actually there'll be even more in the next week or two. Now, what you need to do, in my opinion, is go here, which, if you look at this, it's here, okay, on your mining dashboard. You see, everyone should mine straight away. The first thing you do, once you've got you buy your package, you get your tokens, you go there and you click on submit for automatically mining. Tick this box and then click submit. So all your tokens then automatically get put into the mining pool. Okay, and that's really important. So all your tokens from your package, even when they split, excuse me, because all the packages, by the way, will split. What that means is you will get double the quantity of tokens once the token market heats up. All the packages will split, and in fact, the Tycoon package, the number one package at 5,000 euros, will actually split 2 times, which is one of the reasons you'll see it's best value for money. So you click automatically mining, you click submit, therefore all your tokens now go into mining, okay? That means that that includes all the tokens you get through your earnings account as well, through your mandatory account and so on. So you will now be able to convert these to coins. That's 4 tokens to 1 coin. And you'll see the relevance of that very shortly. Now here's a stock from a back office. This is what you see when you log in. It's very important that you read this, because it's pointing out that so far OneCoin has been so successful that we're actually oversubscribed, and the waiting list to get into a mining pool is 10 to 12 days. Once you go there and click automatically mining and click submit, don't just sit back and say, well, nothing's happening, I'm not mining. You have to be patient. It could take you as much as 2 weeks to get your coins, okay? Don't worry about it. You're in the queue. Guess what? There's probably 60,000 people ahead of you in the queue. No problem. We've got 2.1 billion coins to mine over the next 3 to 5 years. You're going to get your coins, okay? And nothing's going to happen until you get your coins. So what you need to do is just go in there, click submit, and start mining straight away, and then concentrate on building your business. And I put here mining pools FIFO. Anyone know what FIFO stands for? First in, first out, okay? First come, first served. It's purely on that order. So I was speaking, I did a webinar about 3 hours ago for the Asian market, and there was one of our members on there, an American called Chris Stone, who lives in Abu Dhabi, and I invited him to actually talk and share with us his experience. He's quite new to network marketing, but he's already had some relative success, and he's already got 10,400 coins so far have mined. He's waiting for another 60,000 to come off the block, but he's actually mined 10,400 coins. I said, well, Chris, you start, and that's only part of it. He started it about 3 months ago. He's got 10,400 coins, and the starting price when you're allowed to start selling these in May, middle of May, will be €0.5. Okay, so 10,400 coins is 5,200 coins. Euros. But if he hangs on to those for a year, it's likely, according to these projections, that they will reach €5 each. So that could reach 52,000 euros portfolio, okay? Just on 1,000 coins. Now let's get clear on this. That's small. You know, if you have a tycoon package, you start with 60,000 tokens. Now they will split 2 times. So it will go to 120 and then 240,000 tokens. And if you're mining using the ratio of 4 tokens to 1 coin, as I said you would if you do it automatically, that will give you 60,000 coins. Now those 60,000 coins will have a value, a portfolio value at this point here of 30,000 euros. A year later, they could be worth up to, or maybe more, 300,000 euros. That's just from one tycoon package. Now, you may say, well, of course, that's all speculation, Nigel. How do we know it's going to go from €0.5 to 5? In fact, how do you even know it's worth €0.5? Well, we know the starting value is worth €0.5 because that's based upon Dr. Rouge's calculations of the electricity costs, the server costs, and so on. So we know that's a real value. Will it be worth €5 a year from now? Well, no, we don't know that. Of course, no one knows that for certain. But based upon our growth so far, we're growing at about 1,000 to 1,500 members a day. We'll have maybe 500,000 members a year from now. Do you think it's likely it'll go from €0.5 to say €1 or maybe 2? I think going up to €5 is not unrealistic, given that given the history of Bitcoin, for example. Okay, so it just shows you, just from a simple €5,000 education package, you could end up with 300,000 euros worth of value a year from now. Now, of course, you can sell your coins at any point, and maybe a lot of people want to do that. They'll sell some of their coins to recover their initial costs and roll over the rest. And why not? Because if you're patient, look where you could be in 3 years' time. And again, these are projections based upon Dr. Rouge's financial modeling. So I think it's a fair indication that these numbers could be realistic. And of course, you could sell at any point. But, again, let's take Chris Stone's simple example. He's only got 10,400 coins here, 5,200 euros worth of value. Here, that would be worth 52,000 euros. Here, that would be worth 520,000 euros. and here it would be worth €1 million. Now that is from a very low starting point. So imagine what could happen to you. And everyone on this call, by the way, is in at the beginning. Everyone on this call is still right at the beginning. And you may say, I'm not very good at networking. I'm not very good at recruiting. I've always failed at network marketing. I've never made any money. No one ever wants to buy from me. And I would say, so what? It doesn't matter. Chris Stone said the same thing actually on the earlier call. He said, all the members he's brought in are friends of his, and none of them are networkers. And in fact, none of them want to be networkers. None of them are interested in recruiting. They just want the financial returns. So here you have an opportunity to go and build a business based upon people wanting to be passive and looking for returns rather than looking to work. Okay, so really anybody can get fantastic returns here, because you know what, it doesn't matter if you don't build a big team, because as long as everyone else is building their team, your coin is still going to go up in value. This is a one exchange, which is I showed you briefly. It's one of the screenshots, and this is where you can trade your tokens, trade your coins, and so on. And this is the split barometer, and we're at the moment around 30%. As this heats up to 100%, that's when the market splits. You get double the quantity of tokens. Okay. So to recap, OneCoin is the future not only of cryptocurrency but of currency generally. Unlike the fiat money that you have in your pocket, it cannot have any. It cannot be devalued through inflation, because the government can't just print as much as it wants. It's a fixed quantity. And the other reason people like cryptocurrency, of course, is it's actually outside of government control. It's not controlled by any one government. So we have a real and secure one. It's 100% mined by members. So you guys own it. It's not owned by the company. You'll be joining a pool of miners from the start. You've already seen, you can see the blockchain, so you see all the transactions in real time. But here's the thing you need to know. In the beginning, with any cryptocurrency, it's easy. You find a lot of answers or a lot of coins easily. Therefore, you've got a low mining difficulty and low mining price. So anyone who gets in at the beginning will get coins cheaply. You cannot fail to make money, okay? And it will be traded on a public exchange like Bitcoin and Litecoin. Now, would I be saying that to you 2 years from now? No, I don't know. Who knows? But I'm saying it to you now because you're so much in at the beginning. Really, everyone on this call, if they just stick around, is going to make money with OneCoin. It's almost a mathematical certainty. So I've shown you very quickly how you can make money based upon your coins and tokens for doing nothing. What about building your network? What if you want to build a network? It's a really simple thing. And here's the thing. If you've got a product and service that can give people fantastic returns, it doesn't require a lot of selling. Of course, you'll always get skeptics, and my answer to people is, your job is not to try and convince people. Your job is just to find the people who don't need convincing, okay? If you start trying to convince people, you're going to waste your time, okay? Don't waste your time on skeptical people. So we've got 5 packages: starter, trader, pro trader, executive, and tycoon trader. All increasing in value, as you can see here, up to from 100 to 5,000 euros, and all giving an increasing level of online education. The BV, as you see here, if you're a networker, is equal to the euro, so it's 100%, and all of them have free tokens. Now, what you'll notice straight away, of course, is the tycoon gets more tokens pro rata than all the others. So again, it's much better return on investment, and the mere fact that it splits twice means it really is hands down the best deal. And many people, like Chris Stone earlier, he started with a trader package because that's all he could afford. In fact, that was all his appetite for risk was, until he started to get a little bit of success, and then he upgraded to tycoon later because he felt it was really the smartest move for him to do. Everyone also gets free Aurum gold coins and a free debit card, except the starter package, which you'd have to pay for. Let's concentrate now on what would happen if you sponsor people. First come, direct sales bonus. Anyone you introduce, and whatever package they buy, you get 10%, regardless of the package you own yourself. Now, so let's take Chris Stone's example again. Chris came in with a 500 euro package, so his sponsor made 10%, 50 euros. Then Chris turned around and upgraded to a tycoon package, and his sponsor made another 500 euros. So every time you sponsor someone, whatever package they buy, you make 10%. Network bonus. Now it's a weak, now remember this, it's a weak leg non-qualifying binary. You don't have to put one on the left and one on the right. You don't have any monthly maintenance or anything like that. So you simply get paid 10% of the weak leg every single week. Now, given how attractive the tycoon package is, you'll see that many people end up with tycoon packages growing in their downline, whether they like it or not. So if you sponsored me and I bought a tycoon package, or someone did and I was in your weaker leg, you'd make 500 euros just on that sale alone. Okay. Now you'll notice straight away that 60% of your payments go into your cash account and 40% goes into your mandatory account. Now you may say, well, does that mean I'm losing my money? No, it doesn't. Your mandatory account simply is used to buy new tokens on your behalf, really helping fund your asset growth. Okay. Third income, matching bonus. You know what? This is one of the simplest and most lucrative matching bonuses out there. Matching bonus simply means you get paid to help others make money, and it pays up to 4 generations and up to 25%. You see, it's according to which package you have is the matching bonus you get. So of course, again, straight away you see tycoon is more lucrative because you're getting all 4 levels here: 10, 10, 20, and 25%. The only qualification for matching bonus is 2 sales: a trader on the left and a trader on the right. Okay. Now I've done a few quick mathematical examples here to show you just matching bonus, what could happen. Now, statistically in our industry, people will sponsor somewhere between 2 and 3 people. So this is below average. You've got a small group here. You go out and find 2, help them get 2, and so on through 4 levels. And the assumption I've made here is people are just making 100 euros a week in the binary. Well, I've just shown you can make a 500 a week or more very easily. Even on a simple below average organization, you could be making 620 euros per week in matching bonus alone. But as I say, that's below average. Let's go slightly above average, do 50% more work. What if you get 3 and find 3, you find 3 and so on? Your matching bonus could go up to 3,000 euros a week. Now, the average person does not earn 3,000 euros per week in their job, okay? So from a relatively simple organization, you could build it part-time, you could get matching bonus alone, excluding any other area of income, up to around 3,000 euros a week or more. But what if you're a team builder? What if you're a leader? You go out and get 5, teach them to get 5, and so on. It may take you some time. What if it takes you 6 months? What if it takes you 2 years? It doesn't matter. You could be looking at nearly 20,000 euros a week just in matching bonus alone, okay? And we already have about 50 people maximizing the compensation plan, and some of those are even maxing it just on their matching bonus. And that means some of them are making over 35,000 euros per week in matching bonus alone. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Fourth area of income, startup bonus. Okay, sell more than 5,500 euros worth of packages in your first month, and you get a further 10% on all of them. So it's like 20% bonus on all your sales in your first month. Now, if money wasn't enough to tempt you, what about Rolexes and iPhones and things like that? Because we have our own recognition and rewards system as well, and these are actually not that difficult to achieve. In fact, we've already got 2 people at the black diamond level, several at blue diamond, and so on. Even Ruby, very simple here. It doesn't take a lot of volume to get to Ruby. Okay, get an iPhone 6. To get to Emerald, even that is not a lot of volume, and you're looking at a MacBook Air. Okay, and then you can go to diamond pins, Rolexes, and so on. In fact, the top position here is get Crown Diamond. You get 500,000 euros in Aurum gold coins in your account in your name in the vault in Dubai. So that's like getting a tax-free lump sum in Dubai. Now, of course, you can sell your Aurum gold coins on our trading platform to other members if you wish as well. People have been asking me, what's the One Life bonus? What is that? What are One Life points? Well, here's the key. You don't have to do it. That's number 1. It's simply like a loyalty scheme, okay? Or an airline frequent flyer miles, or a hotel, frequent stay, points or whatever. And basically, it's your reward for getting in early. You join today, everyone who joins after you, regardless of whether they're in your team or not, will contribute 1 life points. And let's suppose you didn't earn or get awarded a Rolex or a luxury holiday. Well, you can actually buy your own with your 1 life points. How about that? You'll be able to trade those in for luxury items. I mentioned the Aurum gold coins. Every package gets free gold coins, and Aurum Gold Coins is a hybrid company based in Dubai, hybrid cryptocurrency, and every coin they find or mine, they back up with 1 milligram of solid gold in the vault in Dubai. So it's 1 milligram with your name on it. Okay. Now every package gets this completely free. So this shows you a tycoon gets 2,500 of them. That's 2.5 grams of pure gold free. Now you can sell it, you can keep it, or whatever you want to do with it. It's in your name to do whatever you want. Okay. How do I get paid? Some people ask this question. Well, very simple. 3 ways as I can see it. One is you can use your OneCard MasterCard and you can withdraw your commissions at any ATM in the world or spend them at any shop or whatever you want to do. Secondly, you can have the money wired to your account, okay, wherever you are. You may choose to have it wired to an account in Monaco or Dubai. The company doesn't care. It's not our business where you send your money. Thirdly, what some people do, and I think by far the easiest and quickest way to get your money out, is when you've got new members who want to join, you simply go into your online cash account with your earnings and buy a gift code for a package and sell it to them. You give them the gift code, they redeem it, and they become a tycoon or whatever, and they give you the cash. That's by far the quickest and easiest way to get your cash out of the system, and by far the cleanest. Okay, so those are the ways that you can get paid. It's very simple. So what I'd like to do now is say thank you so much for attending my webinar. I do these several times a week. I'll be doing them again on Thursday evening. Have as many people as you can join. It's great to see such a fantastic attendance tonight, and I want to see even more next time. And what I'd like to do is start running some little promotions on the webinars so you can actually get incentivized for attending and bringing your members to attend as well. So thank you so much. It's always a pleasure, and I appreciate your support. Okay, and you can see this on our YouTube and Facebook channel tomorrow. Thank you and good night.